Okay, so y'all, we all know what's going on up there in Washington, D.C. Trump has pretty much seized the city of D.C., Washington, D.C., pretty much. And if you follow in the news, it says that Trump has sent National Guard troops to Washington, D.C., and they are shipping all of the homeless people out of the city. Where they're going to ship them, I don't know. But Trump said he wants D.C. clean. No crime, no homeless people, or none of that. So what I'm thinking is that Trump and Melania are probably going to spend more time in Washington, D.C. They're probably just going to get on out of New York and just spend more time in Washington, D.C. Because at this point in Trump's political life and his personal life, he probably really don't have any purpose to be in New York anymore. So he's probably going to just full-time go to DC. Melania and Barron probably don't live at home no more. But Barron might live in college somewhere, wherever he's going to school at. Barron might not even live at home. So it's just Melania and Trump, and they probably going to spend full time in DC. And so if Trump is the type of president to where if I'm going to be living here, this is going to be my headquarters. This city is going to be my headquarters. I don't want no crime, no homeless people, no nothing. When world leaders come to see me and visit with me and we have summits and things like that, I don't want them to see no homeless people, no crime. I want them to be able to walk up and down the street in my city, the lead city in my country. So because D.C. is like Jerusalem. D.C. is to America like Jerusalem is to Israel. D.C. is the capital of America, because that's where all the political leaders in America live. Or, that's where D.C. is the capital of America. So that's why Trump is going to move there. Because if you think about all the world leaders, they have their capital city that they live in, and, that's just what it is. Trump does not want D.C. to reflect on his image as a world leader at this point. So, that's what he's doing. But you know what? A lot of the people have been on YouTube and on their blogs and stuff and just saying, hey, y'all think this is just a dress rehearsal. This is just a glimpse of what's going to happen in America. He has moved all of the homeless people out, and he said, I think the option is that either they go to a shelter or they go to a treatment program, seek mental health and substance abuse treatment, or they go to jail. There is no more option of you just having these homeless encampments in cities and living in these abandoned buildings, because those are crime enclaves. Those are places where a lot of crime is being committed, and not just the littering and the loitering and panhandling and things like that. It's a lot of crime. I guess he feels that if I get rid of a lot of these homeless encampments, I can cut down on a lot of crime. So DC is not that, it's a big city, but the way Trump is implementing it with the National Guard, and then probably going to have his own federal Capitol Police force, and in addition to the DC police force, that is very doable in that city, to rid that city of a lot of crime. And so if it happens, that's just a pilot program. And if that happens and is successful, which I believe it will be, because like I said, Trump, you got to take the good with the bad. A lot of people talk stuff about him, but there's a lot of things that he's implementing that are really good ideas. Now, if he can clean up the crime in D.C., which we know is riddled in crime, that can be a pilot program for other major cities throughout the country. Now, I know, places like Chicago, Houston, Miami, LA, those are way bigger. Philly Dallas are way bigger. Even here in Kansas City are way bigger than DC. But if Trump decides to do that in other major cities that are riddled with crime, like Chicago, because something needs to be done in Chicago. And something as drastic as what Trump is doing. This is why I keep telling y'all, Trump is the perfect president. He's the perfect leader to be put into the White House and put into that position in the end times. Because all this is doing is setting the stage for the return of Jesus Christ. It's going to set the stage for the rapture and the tribulation. And I just think that as more of these cities, these major cities throughout the country turn into zombie land with all these meth heads and wet heads and dope fiends finning out, and they just own the streets like zombies. If Trump starts implementing or enforcing laws and policies and curfews and things like that in other major cities, that's going to clean up a lot of the crime. But still, that it may work for a while, but if these people start acting out and revolting against that, it's going to make America is going to turn into a dystopia. It's going to turn into a civil unrest. But him and Putin are going to have a summit, a meeting in Alaska tomorrow, and this is going to be to see if Putin is going to end the war in Ukraine. If Ukraine concedes some of the land to Putin, because that's what Putin's main goal was, to go into Ukraine and seize Ukraine and take Ukraine from, take control of Ukraine, just like he did Crimea. So if Ukraine agrees, if they get, Zelensky's not going to be at the summit, but if Trump can get Putin to call off his war and get Zelensky to cede a part, or to agree to give up part of Ukraine, eastern Ukraine, I believe, to Putin, then that's going to end the war in Ukraine. Which I don't know. Zelensky is not going to agree with it. They don't think Zelensky is going to agree with that, because ever since America has turned on Zelensky, the European Union and other European countries have stepped up, and they are defending and backing Zelensky even more aggressively now. So that's why Zelensky is like, no, I'm not giving up Ukraine to Russia right now, because even though America pulled out and they not supporting me, I'm still, gonna continue with my war and protect my country with the help of the European countries. So that's what's happening. But Trump said he's gonna impose even more sanctions on Russia if Putin comes to Alaska and don't agree. Is this Putin's first time in America? In a while. Has Putin ever been to America? He's going to be on American soil in Alaska to meet with Trump. So we'll see how that goes. That happens tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Trump is trying to win a Nobel Peace Prize like Obama and another one, Roosevelt, I think, won a Nobel Peace Prize. And Trump is trying to win a Nobel Peace Prize. And so far, he is taking credit for ending the wars in Cambodia, between Cambodia and Thailand. And now he's trying to end this war with Ukraine and Russia. And then he's trying to end the war with Iran and Israel. So Trump is trying to say, and he did, it's one of those African nations too. It's a war with those African nations. He ended a war in Africa as well. I forgot the countries. But Trump has been nominated by 4 or 5 world leaders for the Nobel Prize, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. Nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. And they're saying now that Israel is wanting to relocate all of the Palestinians in Gaza, all of the people in Gaza. They want to send these people to South Sudan. Now, South Sudan is the nation, or the South. There is widespread famine and starvation in Sudan and South Sudan. There is war going on. There has been war and starvation and famine in Sudan for the past probably 15 years. And that's where they're trying to send those people to, South Sudan. There has been massive famine and starvation going on in Sudan and South Sudan for over a decade, and that's where they want to send these people. They're already starving them in Gaza. Already there. I don't care what their religious beliefs are. I don't want to see no kids. I don't want to see no people, no human beings being starved who don't have a part in any of these wars. They're innocent casualties of war at this point. I don't want to see no human suffering like that whatsoever. That's cruel. That is genocide. But I still have to back Israel, the Holy Land, by all means. So they're trying to send those people to South Sudan to starve to death. That's what if they relocate those people are going to starve to death. But they did give them, we must understand, if y'all been following this stuff, they did give those people the option to relocate to Egypt, and there's another part of, is Egypt and another country, or another location. I did this months ago, a video about this. They gave them the option to leave Gaza. They said you either if you stay, you will starve. But they gave them every option and opportunity to leave Gaza because Israel wants that Gaza Strip. They did not leave. They were warned months ago to leave, but then the people were like, leave and go to where? Where are we supposed to go? Was it Yemen? No, it wasn't Yemen. They gave them an option to leave, to go to either Egypt or Jordan, I believe. Jordan or Egypt. But they did not leave when they told them to, because Israel wants that Gaza Strip. And they have made, Netanyahu has cut a deal with Trump. That's why Trump wants to build a resort. Trump and Kushner want a lot of that land to build resorts and they want to make Gaza into like another Dubai, where all the rich and famous go to vacation and, for their leisure time and stuff. That's what they want to turn that Gaza Strip into. Kushner and Trump want to do that. And Netanyahu will let them do that because, America is Israel's strongest ally, and Israel wants control of the Gaza Strip, and I believe that is a deal that Netanyahu and Trump will make. Now, there are other countries saying, no, we want a Palestinian state. That's what all the rest of the nations are saying. China, Russia, Iran, all of them Arab countries have pretty much said, no, we want a Palestinian state. And a lot of the European countries and France and all of those, they want us a Palestinian state. All of the nations are going to turn against Israel and force Israel to split that Holy Land. That's prophecy, people. So we'll see how this goes, because Trump is still on Israel's side, with Netanyahu, and they want to, take over the Gaza Strip, but all the rest of the world is not having it. So we're going to see how that goes. But in the meantime, in between time, Trump is vying for a Nobel Peace Prize. We'll see if he gets it. Vance is also stepping up to the plate as far as he's just becoming more visible. And that's why I say, and Trump has already said that he looks for Vance to take his place or be his successor. Him and Mark Antonio Rubio. So, end time prophecy is falling into place because Vance and Peter Thiel and all those closeted politicians, they can pretty much be the administration that ushers in the Antichrist, that introduces the world to the Antichrist. Trump, in my opinion, I don't know. Like I said, he's doing some things that I think is setting all that into place. He's setting it all into place. He's setting it up. And that doesn't mean that he's evil. It just means that he is doing what he's supposed to do. That is what his assignment is, to set all of this stuff into place. That's just like person owns a production company, or they're setting the scenes for like a grand production or like a movie set. Trump is the person that is setting up the production or the scenes for the movies, for the grand performance or the grand production. He's setting the stage. That's what he's doing. He's overseeing all of the things to fall into place for the great tribulation, for the rapture first and then the tribulation. That's what Trump is doing. He's overseeing all of this stuff. So whether he's evil or whatever, that's that's yet to be seen, because right now, only thing Trump is doing is setting everything in place for Bible prophecy to be fulfilled. That does not make him the Antichrist. That does not make him evil. So I'm not saying, Trump is just, he's divine and he's sent by God, and I'm not saying he's the Antichrist either. Trump has yet, we got to see how this unfolds and what else Trump does. But the end times did say the Antichrist will be, at first he'll appear to be a man of peace. And see, Trump is trying to get that Nobel Peace Prize. It did say that the Antichrist will first deceive people into thinking that he's a man of peace. And then, during the middle of the tribulation, that's when the Great Tribulation happens throughout Israel. So we'll see how this all plays out. But the Antichrist is not going to enter the world stage until you're not going to know he's the Antichrist until the tribulation starts. And the church is not going to be here to see the Antichrist. But we can kind of get a feel of who he is or where he is. We can only guess, because people who accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and are our Lord and Savior, everybody who accepts Jesus Christ is not going to be here to experience that tribulation period. In my opinion, I'm talking from a pre-tribulation, pre-millennial point of view. Now, there are other Christians who believe that the tribulation is going to happen and that Christians will be here. The church will be here to experience some of it. That's how some Christians believe. And then there are other Christians who think that we're already in the tribulation. And then there are some Christians who don't even believe in the tribulation, although they are so off in their beliefs, because the Bible specifically describes the Great Tribulation in Revelation, and it describes the rapture in Thessalonians. But I am of a pre-tribulation, pre-millennial kingdom point of view, that I think that the world events that's taking place now are fulfilling Bible prophecy in a rapid succession right now to set the stage for the rapture, where Jesus comes and takes the church away in the clouds. He snatches the church from the world. And when he does that, this whole world is going to be under God's wrath for the 7-year tribulation period. And see, everything that's happening now, Trump is setting all of the things in place for this to happen, for prophecy to be fulfilled. So, and Trump probably might not even be here. He's either going to be raptured, or he's probably not going to be in the White House, because his term, he might get termed out, or they might try to form a coup against him, or he may pass away. We don't know. Trump might not even be here for the tribulation, or he might, like I said, he might be raptured up out of here. But he's setting everything in place. So that's what y'all need to understand. Get out of politics for a minute. Step out of politics, and you have to look. It's prophecy, not politics. That you have to look at Trump's actions and see the things that he's doing is fulfilling end time prophecy. All right. So anyway, things that's going on here, like I was saying, in America, there's going to be a lot of civil unrest, because you see how things are going now. More than ever, crime is increasing, wickedness is increasing, and it has gotten to the point that Trump is like, you know what? I have got to take radical, aggressive action on the federal level to clean the crime and the homelessness and all of the drug use and stuff and the illegal immigration. I have to take drastic measures to clean this country up. And that's what he's doing. He said he was going to do that. It ain't like he's doing nothing. Trump had already said he was going to do this when he was running for his second term. He said he was going to do this. So there is no surprise, that he is doing this, because he's doing exactly what he said he's going to do. So I don't know why everybody act like they so appalled and surprised about this. Like I said, I'm not against it at all, because Trump is doing everything that he's supposed to do, that God has put him into position to do, so that we can get up out of this wicked, evil world and let the devil have it for the 7-year tribulation period, and then for Jesus to come back at the second coming and to establish his 1,000-year millennial kingdom. So the faster the rapture happens and the tribulation begins, I'm not complaining. The only thing I'm concerned with is that the people who are not saved, who's going to be left behind here. And a lot of, that's the only thing that I fear for and I'm concerned about. But that's the choice that they're going to make. Because the Bible's been warning us, Jesus has been warning us, people have been warning us, pastors, so many people have been warning the world that it's going to happen. There are many Noahs in the world, that are warning people that God is about to rain down his wrath on this world, in judgment and wrath. And so we've been warning people, and they have been just going on about their life and listening to these lying wonders talking about it's going to be a golden age and things are going to get better and there's going to be a revival and a great restoration in the world. No, it's going to be great destruction in this world. So we can only keep telling people, get right before you get left, because it's going to happen. But yeah, they said a blood moon is supposed to happen in September too. A blood moon that about 60% of the whole world is going to witness. It's a lot going to happen, man. In the next, they said September is going to be a very eventful month in world history or human history. They said watch for September. Oh yeah, another earthquake happened. There's a 5.9 earthquake happened somewhere. I forgot. Was it Mexico or somewhere? No, it's a 5.9. I don't have my phone with me and I'm driving. I can't pick it up. But it was an earthquake happened yesterday or the day before yesterday. A 5.9 earthquake. And so now they're watching for a tsunami. I think it might have been India. It happened. 5.9 earthquake. So, okay, y'all. Oh, there was a major landslide in Alaska yesterday. A major landslide in Alaska, and there's been an evacuation in Alaska. Yeah, a massive landslide. A day before this summit is supposed to take place with Trump and Putin. A massive landslide and a massive evacuation just happened. So, all right, y'all. Let me cut this off because I'm driving. It's about 25 minutes in. So, all right, y'all. I ain't been posting news clips, but I'm gonna start posting these news clips back up because it escapes my mind. A lot of these places, all these disasters that's happening and stuff. I keep forgetting what country it is, but there was another major earthquake that happened in a country yesterday or the day before, 5.9. All right, y'all. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend. We're gonna see how Putin touches down in U.S. soil. I don't think Putin has been. When's the last time has Putin ever been to America? Has he ever been to America? So we'll see. All right, y'all. I will holla. Be blessed. Okay. Peace.